Hello and welcome back to the Game Logic Design tutorial series on the paintbrush. Today we're going to look at using a fusion shader to blend two different surfaces together using a texture mask image. So we're going to go in here, we're going to create a material. We're going to just create a sphere here, drag the material on. With the material selected, we'll go to the editor and change it to no scaling. In the color channel, we're going to go into the texture and we're just going to create a blend material that we want to use to blend. Doesn't need to be high resolution. It's going to be used as the blending mask between two different shaders. Now we want to actually use a fusion shader on this, so we're going to change this again to a fusion and go into the fusion, and we'll change the base channel here to use a brick, and the blended top one will be a fire. And we want to use a mask here because we want to set a channel here, and we're going to use that texture that we just created before the blend. Now you can see here that it's showing in OpenGL the blend between the two, the brick and the fire. You can see that most like at the bottom of the texture here. Switch over to the body paint view, and we'll just show our texture on here. Now we'll go to our materials and we'll just enable it so we can paint on it in body paint. And so here, body paint really nicely shows that blend image here underneath a temporary kind of color channel here. But this is actually the blend. Now in software mode using the body paint paintbrush, you can't see anything, but if we switch to OpenGL, you'll be able to see it again. And if I start painting on this, you're going to see that we're going to paint that fire through. But what we really want is we want this texture here to be fully brick, because at the moment it's a gray, so we just need to fill that in with a white texture to fully bring out a black texture, to fully bring out the brick there. So we'll just do that quickly now. So we're going to go switch the colors. Make sure we've got a black color selected there. And then we'll just fill it with black. Now we fully see a full black part of the brick texture there with none of the fire. So now I'll just leave that angle there, and I'll just go back to the colors, and I'm going to change this back to a white color. And go into here, and now if I start painting, it's going to start bringing through the fire onto this model. Now we might want to have half the model fire and half of it brick, so I'm just going to quickly do that by jumping in here, switch to a side view, turn on the shading there, switch to the settings tab here, change to a rectangle fill tool. I want to do the front and the back, so I'll enable back faces. And I want to do a full blend between the two, so I'm going to turn that right up. So now it's going to paste the color all the way over there, so I need to switch back to my perspective there. And now we have kind of a half-half. And now I want to soften out the top here, so I'm just going to use my brush again and just change that back to freehand and just paint around the edges to kind of get a more softer look there. And you get the idea from what I'm doing. Now I can just paint on these bits of this fire coming up. Now one thing we might want to do here is, see here we're painting using white. We've got a white color that's been painted into here, and that's what's making it show up. But we might want to paint the inverse of that. And the inverse color here of white is obviously black that's already been set up here in this color channel. So if I just hold down Control key while painting, I can paint the opposite color there, the background color, foreground and background color. So you can switch between those by holding down Control. So you paint in a little bit, hold down Control, and you can remove what you don't want there to get a little bit more control over the painting. We'll bring that opacity right down. Just try and get some of that fire coming up. Okay.